And what I got from Paula, she says, how do you stay in touch when it's all over with? How do you keep this friendship going? Well, we joined in November of 2009, I think it was, and we have been on 5 inbounds. We've hosted people from 5 different places, and we've gone on outbounds of 9 different journeys. And 4 of them have been with other clubs, which you're meeting more people and making new friends when you go with other clubs, which we really enjoy. Our first experience in home hosting was for a couple from the Bogota Club. That was in 2012. Her name was Esperanza, and his name was Humberto. Well, when we were in Colombia just recently, our club, I tried to contact them, and they were so sad her computer, she was out of town or something, we didn't connect. But I got emails back from her, and when she was coming to Dallas a few months ago, she emailed me. I do a lot of emailing with people, or I do WhatsApp, depending on the country, or Facebook. So with Esperanza, it was with emails, and she says, I'm coming into town. Would you like to see me? I'll be arriving at 6 in the morning. And I said, we'll be there. So we go out to DFW and pick her up and brought her home, and she spent the day with us before she had to go on to another flight. So, and of course, oh, you've got to come back to Colombia. You've got to come see us in Bucaramanga, where they live. Her husband didn't speak any English. I do a little Spanish, but as we old folks know, we communicate with heart and gestures and a few words, and you make it work, and it's beautiful. So maybe someday Jerry and I will go back to Bogota and visit them. Another person that came in was from Georgetown. Her name's Betty. We do a lot of Facebooking back and forth, and I can connect with her. And I think maybe someday she'll come to Dallas. And another inbound, we had a couple from Saskatoon stay with us, a delightful couple. And as Sandy says, you get to know them with their professions, what they like, what they dislike, etc. And I think it was last year, Jerry was coming back from his fishing trip from Canada, emails them, calls them up, we're coming through, love to see you. Well, would you like to spend the night? So these friendships go beyond just the week that you're with them. And so Jerry and a couple of his fishing buddies spent the night with them, and they had dinner, and it was a lovely time. It can be more than just a week when you're on that journey. With another incoming group, with a global, that was a wonderful experience. We had a lovely couple from the Sacramento Club stay with us. And we do a lot of Facebook back and forth. And when I went, I think it was last year, no, when did I go to outbound to Sacramento? It was 2017. They knew I was coming. They took my home host and said, we want her to spend the night with us. So I packed my bag and went over to their home and spent a night with them and reconnected. Nothing's lost. It's just going a little deeper. And it was just delightful to see them and be with them. We really, really enjoyed. I have found, and I'm sure all of you do, with some couples and some people, there's really an instant bond and a connection. And others, it's not quite the same, but you enjoy your time with them, and carrying on afterwards depends on that relationship that you're with. A lot of the people like to do, like Sandy said, WhatsApp. And the people we stayed with in Tanzania, I went with the Friendship Force of Greater Atlanta to Tanzania. They like to do WhatsApp. They don't do email. The computer work is a lot slower, so they do WhatsApp, and you can call on WhatsApp. And we connected that way. And I had 2 couples there in the Tanzania. One was my day host, one was my home host. It was interesting. My day hosts were supposed to have had us as their guest. We were their guests, but they didn't have room at the last minute. So a young fella in his office took us. Jerry and I have adapted at the last minute in changing hosts. Delightful young couple. They had been married 1 month. They had an extra bedroom with 1 bed in it and a cement floor. And we got to really see Tanzania, not as an American, but as a local thing in their house. with the potty outside of the house and no running water in the house. And we just had the best time, and we connect, and they had a baby. So we WhatsApp with the pictures and how you doing. And when Felicity went to Tanzania, it was so wonderful. I said, Felicity, you're going to Iringa. Can you take gifts to my two families? And both of them have little baby girls. So I went out and bought a couple of little gifts for them and wrapped them up. Wouldn't take much time in her place in her luggage. And she took them. And it was just wonderful to hear back from them how much they appreciated the little things that we can do once the journeys are over. And that means a lot to them. Another one that really stands in my mind is when we went to Azerbaijan and the Republic of Georgia in 2015. Again, the people we were supposed to stay with in Azerbaijan didn't work out. So at the last minute, the girl took us home with her. And like you say, we're adaptable and changeable. We spent the week in her son's bedroom, and her son and his wife and the two kids slept in the dining room. So there was about 10 of us in the house with one bathroom, and it was delightful. Really enjoyed. They were a Muslim family, so I learned a lot about their customs. And Solmaz had married her first cousin. That's very popular in the faith there, the Muslims. So learned about that. I don't communicate with Solmaz, but her daughter, we're on Facebook. Again, the younger people love Facebook, and so I stay with a connection with that. And in the Republic of Georgia, we stayed with a lovely lady, Maiko, and her daughter was there, and her daughter spoke better English than she did. And her daughter had a baby. So we're seeing pictures back and forth on Facebook and commenting and talking. And a lot of times in these places where we go visit, you all know that they're not really able to come to see us in the United States, but we can still keep the friendship going via Facebook and letters and WhatsApp. Another time, let me see, that really meant something to us. Oh, the different world conferences. Some of you newer ones have never been to a world conference. It's a great way of staying connected with people. The first one I went to was back in 2012 to New Orleans. I was a newbie. I really didn't know anybody that much other than the people in our own club. But you start meeting people and you start sharing with the people from around the world in their clubs. So when I went to New Zealand in 2014 and stayed with, before that, Paula, you had us go to New Zealand. And yeah, Jerry and I were ready to go. And we got to stay with Colin and his wife, Janet. And they were real active in the conference. So when I went back to conference, I got to see them and other people we had met on the journey. And I got an email from Colin saying, how you doing in Dallas? What's going on? We're doing this. And so I email him back. So this emailing back and forth keeps the relationship going that I enjoy. Then 2015, Vancouver. Been in the club a lot longer, met on more journeys, meeting more people, staying connected. And if any of you haven't gone to a world conference, hopefully, I don't know if they're still going to have that one 2021 in Taiwan, but again, it's keeping relationships going, seeing them in person, and making new friends there. And then the Boulder one was phenomenal. It's like old home week. You've been in so long and you see people and you hug and just staying in contact with them at these conferences because they're from around the world. The young fella from Bhutan we got to talk to. I'm sure he was one of those that had a scholarship given to him. And when I was in Bhutan, I didn't have the chance to talk with him and connect, but I sure would like to do that. And the one from Nepal, being in Nepal, just connected, and I've seen him at a couple of world conferences. You might say it's not a real deep connection, but yet it is, because there's love there. And I'd like to go to Nepal and see him. Who knows? Maybe a journey there sometime. So that's about what I have to say about staying in touch. It's with the emails, the WhatsApp, the Facebook, it can be awesome because you're really right there and you're seeing pictures, you're sharing all the time. So I'm just hoping that there'll be another conference and there'll be some more journeys in and out for us to